Hi, I'm Carissa. Welcome back to Carissa's Garden. Today I'm going to be potting up some cactuses into this cute little vessel I found. It's the perfect size for a windowsill. I'm very excited about that. I have a spot in my kitchen just by my sink that I think this will look lovely with. So I picked out 3 of these. I hope they all fit. My daughter and I had a nice little afternoon yesterday at our local garden center, and these ones just spoke to us. Each one has a bit of red tinge in it, and it is Valentine's Day today. So yeah, this is perfect for today. So unfortunately this vessel doesn't have drainage, which is actually maybe a good thing because the saucer might look a little bit ugly. So I'm going to do some pebbles at the bottom just to keep the roots away from the excess water. So we'll start with that. Got less than an inch, I would say, of rocks. Just enough to keep the excess water away from the roots. At first I was a little hesitant to use this method, but I've tried it now a couple times and the plants seem to be fine. For the most part I feel like plants are very adaptable, so I think it'll be okay. Okay, next I have some cactus soil. It is definitely cactus soil. There's quite a lot of sand in there, which will also help with drainage. Let's see if they like it. All right. I have a bit of I have a bit of sandy soil in. And I'm going to try my first one in and see what happens. I think I'm going to put it in the middle and center it and go from there. This is quite crumbly. The soil that it came in is very different from the soil I'm putting in. So who knows, maybe the mix of both will be a good combination. A lot of perlite or vermiculite, one of the two. That looks pretty good, about straight. That one just looked so fun. I'll have to look up what the name is of this one, but it's so unique. Quite like it. Alright, next I'm going to do this one. It'll probably bite me. Alright, 2 down, 1 to go. I think they might all fit. All right, what do you think? I'm quite happy with that. The only concern I have is that I did jam it quite full, so watering it might be a bit of an issue, just to make sure I water it slowly enough, because it doesn't have that little lip, you know, as the water kind of seeps down. So I'll just have to manage that and see what happens. But like I said, for the most part, plants are so adaptable. If I see some signs of stress, maybe I'll repot them. But they look pretty good. I'll just give it a quick water. I just did a very light watering just to make sure I didn't soak them too much, because the soil that I potted them with was quite moist. The one they came in was very dry, so I think the combination of that will work out just fine. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I have a couple more tasks to do today. When we were at the garden center, we found some dahlia tubers for a really good price, and the pictures they just grab you. So yeah, even though I have ordered a few online that are going to come whenever it's time for my zone to plant, these ones I am going to plant up, or pot up rather, quite early, just to get the blooms going. You know, the earlier the better. And then I'm going to start some eucalyptus seed trays, because it's about 12 weeks to our last frost, and when it'll be about safe to plant outside. So yeah, I'm going to get the eucalyptus seed trays done, and maybe a few others. Hey, welcome back. This is Carissa's garden, and I am Carissa. I'm doing a couple tasks around the house today to do with gardening, and I thought I'd take you along. I potted up a cactus planter for my windowsill just over here, and it looks quite lovely, and it's cheery since it is snowing today. It was looking pretty hopeful last week. It was beautiful and all the snow was melting, but no, we have one more cold snap here. It's about +2 right now outside, but the snow is coming down. So yeah, I planted up that cactus planter, and I did a couple more winter sowing in the milk jugs. So I've got about 27, actually exactly 27 jugs outside that will just grow as they can, do their own thing. So today I have some seed trays here. I'm going to start, this is my first batch of seed trays this year. So we're about 12 weeks away from planting. So I'm going to do some of the varieties that take their time. Starting with eucalyptus. This is silver dollar tree. I think this will be a great foliage for the bouquets. And then this one, I think I'll use it in bouquets, but it's also great for pollinators, butterfly milkweed. So I'm pretty excited about that one. And this is a perennial, which is pretty exciting. The eucalyptus is a perennial in, I don't know, zone 8+, but we are a 4, maybe 4B. So I do plan, if I'm not entirely spent by the fall, I do plan to bring this inside and overwinter it, maybe cut it back and just kind of keep it in my cool basement, so I don't have to grow it again. So we'll see how that goes. And then I have delphinium Pacific giant mix. I did do some winter sowing with this one, but as a backup plan, I'm gonna sow some just in the traditional seed tray method. And then I have foxglove. If you're aware, these take a long time, 330 to 360 days to maturity, because they are biennials. So yeah, I'm gonna start them anyway, and get a jump on it. Yeah. So I've got, I think this is about 75 in this packet. This is 20, the eucalyptus. The milkweed, I'm not sure, 125. I'm not sure what the germination rate is for all of these. But I'm gonna see if I can get these trays pretty evenly filled with all of them, because I think they're all gonna be great, of course. So yeah, I will start with putting in some pre-moistened seed starter soil. So I got it just from my local hardware store. It says premium seedling starter, and it is very fine. But I did find a piece of mulch in it that's quite big. But for the most part, it looks pretty good. I think it'll be okay. Yeah, so I will fill up these trays and then throw some seeds in. Alright, all the trays are filled. These are recycled from previous years when I've bought petunias at local nurseries and that type of thing. So yeah, I didn't have to purchase any of these. I do have a soil blocker coming, which I'm very excited about. I found some inexpensive cookie sheets and baking trays on clearance for like $11 for 4. So I think I'm going to plop most of those with my soil blocks. I'll use that. And I think that'll be a very efficient way to do it. So yeah, because I have thousands of seedlings that I'm going to need to put in to fill the space. The other day I made up a plan for the garden, and to fill about 80 by 25, I think I'm going to need 1,400 plants. And that's for one planting. That's not even calculating in succession plants. So yeah, I've got some work ahead of me, but here is the first one. So I've got, like I said, eucalyptus, silver dollar, and there's 20 seeds in this packet. And the germination rate is quite high. It's like 93. So I'm gonna see if I can, oh, they're tiny. How many? So if there are 20, I'm gonna kind of take care of these right here. These, sorry, there's 3 6-pack cells that I'm gonna put in. So if I've got an extra couple seeds, I will just stick them in. But the germination rate is quite high, so I'm not going to put more than 1 in each hole because I don't want to waste any. And these are going. Looks like I'm not burying these. I'm going to put them directly on top, and then maybe add some vermiculite to the top of them. Okay. These are so tiny. So small. Alright, I have a label, and I'm going to stick that in. The method I have to remember, because I'm not doing a label per tray or per cell pack, I typically do remember if I put the label on one side and then I remember it's this. All of this is this, right? Makes sense in my head. So I'm gonna look up to see if I should cover it with vermiculite, because I don't want to mess this up. So next I will do some milkweed. These seeds are much larger. They're almost like tomato seeds, I would describe them, but I believe they are pelleted, natural seed coating. I'm gonna do 2 per hole because I have a lot of them, I think 175, and it doesn't list the germination rate on them, so I'm not gonna take any chances. Next label. And the same type of thing. This cell here where my thumb is, so to my left, your right I guess, that'll be all butterfly milkweed, and then to the right, your left, is all eucalyptus. And now we will move on to foxglove. So this is the Apricot Beauty from Floret. It's a black and white picture, but if you've got the idea of a foxglove, they're quite beautiful. So these are gonna go there's my foxglove, and I chose Apricot Beauty. So in about a year, more than a year because they won't be blooming this time of year next year. Anyway, we'll see what they look like. And then my last one is delphinium. So I've got about 2 6-packs, and then these last year they're just rectangles, but they came, or petunias came in them, and it was just spaced 1 in each corner, and I think they did quite well. We'll see how they do with delphinium. All right, everything is in its little home. I'm gonna add some vermiculite to the top of them all. Hi, we are in my basement, just checking on where the seedlings are. There is a heating mat underneath the foxglove and delphinium. The other ones don't have it. I think they might be okay, but we'll see. And I did make a mistake, and I covered the foxglove with vermiculite, and they don't like that. They need the light to germinate. So yeah, I should have done my research ahead of time, but I didn't. So now I have to pick off all the vermiculite, which is fine. So here, I'll just give you a quick tour of what I have here. This is just a Home Depot storage shelf I have. And then these are shop lights, LED shop lights that are 6,500 K, which means I think they're powerful enough, because I do have 2. They're powerful enough that I don't have to move them closer to the plant, is what I've researched. And I'm happy about that. One less thing for me to do. Yeah, so I have 4 shelves here. They are not filled up, obviously. These are my first trays. Yeah, so once I get my soil blocker, I will be using these cookie sheets to throw them on, and maybe these for larger items. Yeah, we'll see. And this, oh yeah, this was the little corner I filmed my cactus planting in. Yeah, it's just a dark basement, so we added some lights, and now I have another area for plants, which I'm happy about. So yeah, I will periodically check on these, and I will give them a little bit of a bottom watering, and then pour out whatever's left over, just so that they can wick it up themselves instead of having the moistness on top where the seeds are. Yeah, so that's about it. All right, last task of the day. I'm going to do something I've never done before, which is quite common on this channel. I'm going to pot up some dahlia tubers early so that I can get a head start on the blooms. So I have some recycled pots from old plantings. I think this was sedum. I had some last fall I planted into the yard. So yeah, I'll put these dahlia tubers, one in each pot, and we'll see if we can get some early blooms started. So I did put about a third down of some pre-moistened soil, not very wet at all. It sounds like dahlias do not like getting their feet wet, so I will not do that. So yeah, we have 4 varieties. I do have some on order, but they're quite bright and loud colors, so these are a little bit more muted, minus the 2. So, well, I have 2 and my daughter has 2. We went to our local garden center, like I said, yesterday, and we just couldn't resist getting these. So I chose some muted colors and she chose the opposite. So here's the first one. This is Wizard of Oz, and this is a ball dahlia, and there's 1 in there. Quite beautiful. So that will be 1. This is one of my daughters, Ferncliff Illusion, and this is a dinner plate dahlia. I think she has quite good taste in them. And then this is mine. This is also a dinner plate dahlia. I don't know how good this will do in a cut flower, but it was $5.99, so it might just be for my enjoyment. So yeah, this is called Fairway Spur, and I would say it's a coral color. It's quite pretty. And then we have Lindsay Michelle, and this is a Fringed Dahlia. Quite pretty. So yeah, I'm going to open this up and see what kind of state it is in. Oh, do you know what? It is quite large. I wonder if I should try dividing it, or if that might be too risky. Oh, it is large. Wow, can you see that? That is a large tuber. It looks healthy from what I can see. Some of the necks might have broken off, but it's still attached. I don't know if that's okay. Do you know what? I'm not going to divide this because it's too risky, in my opinion. So I am going to just pot it up as it is in this massive clump. And then after I've had some blooms off of it in the fall, I will reassess if I do want to divide it. But right now, I'm just too afraid. I don't even see where the eyes are. So yeah, this looks like the mother, and then all these other ones. You know what? I'm very tempted to, but I'm not going to. So anyway, I'm going to stick this in my soil. Remember I said it's about a third down. And then it's obvious that this was the old stalk. So that goes up. And the idea is as it grows, you add more soil along. And I am going to leave the stalk uncovered. It's right there. For two reasons. Because it says that I can. It's optional, but also because I would like to see the new growth that pops up. So yeah, that one is done. I'm not going to water it in because it is quite moist. I think it'll be okay. So yeah, that is one. I am going to label it before I forget. There we go. Fairway Spur, the dinner plate dahlia. That one's done. And these will also go in my basement. And I don't know if they need light right away. I think not until the first sprout comes out. But they do need to be in a rather cool area. Okay, I'm gonna do my next one, the Wizard of Oz. And I just love how uniform that looks. The ball shape, that's just beautiful. So I was pleasantly surprised by the last one. I wonder if this one will also be in a good state. Oh, this one looks a little dry, but not pruny. Doesn't have the raisin effect. It looks quite good. Again, there are multiple tubers attached to the one mother. I'm not going to divide it. I'm just too nervous. So that will go in the ground like that. Not in the ground, in the pot. It'll go in the pot like that. There's the second one. You can see the stalk is right there. It's almost covered, but not quite. And I'll label it. Don't know if you wanted to see that, but there it is, and that'll go in. All right. I'm gonna get my daughter to do hers, and then I will show you where I store them in the basement. All right, here are my dahlias right here in the basement here. They don't have a ton of light where they are, but until they sprout, I think they'll be fine. So yeah, they're just tucked away in that little corner of my dark basement. Yeah, they should be fine. I'll check in with you when I see some sprouts and we'll see how they do indoors. I've never done this before. Thanks for joining me along the way, and take care, and we'll see you next time.